Dornish armies have invaded the Reach and are now looking to expand their borders northwards, but they will be stopped by the armies of House Tyrell in today's Ice and Fire Total War battle for you today here, and this is a very nice battle. I do quite enjoy checking out this new Game of Thrones mod for Attila. It really is very fun. If you're unaware of the Ice and Fire mod, if you're new to it, this is your first video watching it. It is a Game of Thrones mod not set on the show. It is set on more on like the books and the lore. So like the armor is very different to what you would imagine in the what you see in the show. I mean, you don't see a lot of House Martell's like uniforms anyway in the show. So to be honest, with like House Martell, it doesn't really matter so much. But certainly with say like House Tyrell, which you do see quite a lot of, and I quite like House Tyrell's show look units, but I also do like what they look like in the books, or like this version of like the Total War mod, which is, they just look like Western European knights, but they look really cool. And you got like the cool shaped shields and the emblems that look, oh, they look great, they really do. But yes, I will just tell you now a little bit of news about the Ice and Fire mod, that it is now on ModDB if you want to go and get it. So I will leave the link for that. I'm excited to see it's on there. It's meaning that the mod's making progressions, hopefully going to then grow more. And yeah, I'm excited to see where they go with the mod. They're constantly updating on it. It's getting a lot more updates than say like the Seven Kingdoms one was, which now is, to all intents, is dead. I don't think it's had any work on it in years. But yeah, so we've got a new one, a new mod. I'll leave a link as well, or a pop-up will come up of my overview of the mod. It was a few weeks ago when I was originally sent the first pack. A little bit has changed, but it kind of gives you a sort of a set out plan on what they have set, and there is, yes, going to be campaign. As so many of you ask for all these sort of mods, like, is there campaign? Is there campaign? Because not everyone plays multiplayer battles. But yeah, so we'll have a quick look anyway at the armies that are coming here today. Both sides have got some advantages that they brought in this one, and we'll see how they play out. So, first advantage, well, we'll look at Tyrell first and look at like what they have as advantages here today. So they have longbows, which I'm pretty sure House Martell does have ranged infantry. I don't think this players just forgotten to bring any, or just decided, nah, I'm not bringing any. So they've got 4 units of longbows back there. So House Tyrell is going to be able to like skirmish his way first. He's going to be able to set the pace of the battle. I feel like skirmish really does allow you to do just that, set the pace of the battle. You can sit back, you can retreat, you can shoot. And just basically start a combat with your enemy for as long as possible until you've used every ounce of ammunition. Another advantage they have is cavalry. The cavalry available and the number they brought. House Tyrell has brought 4 units, not including their general. I believe House Martell has brought 3, not including its general, so 4 in total. One advantage though is that they have horse archers here, does House Martell, so that they are going to use these Riders of the Dune here, as you can already see, very effectively. I don't know why they're using fire arrow ammo, because early in the game no generals are dead either, so morale's high for these Outriders. I just use normal ammunition really. But yeah, you got these Outriders here trying to chase down the Martell Cav. But yeah, I feel like generally the Martell Cav is heavy horse. It's tier 2. I presume these High Guard Knights, yeah, tier 3 and very heavy. So yeah, much stronger in like the weight class. That is going to be a thing I think we're going to see with the Dornish factions. It's going to have like lighter Cav, maybe cheaper as well. Because in the desert, you know, they're a bit more quick moving. You don't have like the heavy sort of like Western styled knights that you have, say, in like the Westlands and the Reach and the Crownlands. But yeah, they do look really cool though. All these units look like more Byzantine sort of style for like Dawn. It looks great. Like these, like certainly like these models really look like they come from like 1212, and they look great. They really do. I actually quite like the look that Dawn's going for in this, and they do use their research. They have killed one of these Outriders now, which is embarrassing, I feel like, for the Tyrell player. But they do their research on like art, and also kind of what the books trying to describe what these units look like. So they do try and do their best, and I do like that as well. Like always looking to improve their units and just try and get it as accurate as possible. But yeah, so that is one of the advantages, I guess, that House Martell has, anyway, is horse archers here, so they can harass as well. They also have these pole arms, which are the Water Garden guards, which look awesome, to be honest. We haven't really seen pole arms really in this mod yet being used, but I'm really excited to see how they get used in today's battle, how good they are as well. If you don't know about the Water Gardens, bar Sunspear, it's like one of the main places that's spoken about in Game of Thrones in the books. It's where Doran Martell actually spends most of his time. Instead of like at his capital in Sunspear, he spends time at the Water Gardens because it's quite a peaceful place. It's away from, I guess, the filth and noise of busy Sunspear. And it's just a beautiful part of the world, so I think that's why he picks it. So yeah, and these guys, I think, are supposedly... I supposedly are going off the show, to be honest. Looking at the shape of their, like, halberd and, like, their Water Garden guards, makes me think that they're going off the bodyguard that he has in the show, which actually is also in the book, actually. So, it's still not really... he's, like, from Essos. I can't remember what part of Essos, but he's, like, a mercenary, like, a hired sword that, like, becomes, like, Doran Martell's personal bodyguard. And it seems like that Water Garden's kind of based off him. I can't... If someone knows where he's from and what his name is, please do put in the comments, because I can't remember off the top of my head. I think he's from Lorath, but I'm not... I could be wrong. It could be one of the other, like, states out there. And we got more Blazing Sun Lancers out here. I don't actually know if I've shown them off yet, but Blazing Sun Lancers out there. And we got them as a general. But we got just like some men-at-arms as well, medium infantry. I have seen that House Martell has also brought royal swords, which look great. They are a heavy sword infantry unit, and they look awesome. Look at this unit. You can see why I say Byzantine. The gold, the curved scimitar sort of looking sword. Also, the armor looks quite Byzantine as well. They wouldn't look out of place in like a Nicaean army, put it like that, in 1212. But yeah, they are certainly an advantage over Tyrell, because they've got like medium house infantry here with their Tyrell swords and spears. So it'll be interesting to see how this one goes down. Seems like House Martell is shifting to Tyrell's right, their left, where they're throwing their weight. Certainly something I would be taking advantage of fully right now if I was House Tyrell is the cavalry advantage. Got to take advantage of that and, you know, try and, well, just take out the enemy's cav and then hammer and anvil. While on the other hand, if you're House Martell, you really want to get stuck in with your pole arms and your solid infantry, this royal swordsman, and try and break through this line, to be honest. If they can use the pole arms in support, either in cav fights or in infantry fights, could turn the tide of battles, to be honest. And I think they brought a fair few of those pole arms. They brought at least 4, I think. 2 on either flank. We also have Sunspear Spear Sergeants. I like how it's Sunspear and then Spear again, just to, you know, complicate it. But yeah, they look very similar to sort of like the men-at-arms, just with a spear instead. Look really cool though. They do look very cool. But who are you backing in this one? Are you backing House Martell or are you backing House Tyrell? Certainly for looks, I do quite like House Martell. House Tyrell, I think, you know, not to criticize them, but they look very similar. Like the certainly like the Riverlands Lannisters, I feel like their infantry look quite similar, but they are from like a very similar, and like yeah, like all those sort of central factions look very similar. It's like, unless you're like from the north or from Dorne, where you've got like radical different temperatures, and they have different sort of outfits to deal with those temperatures. Like everyone else just kind of looks the same a little bit. But there's nothing that they can do about that. The devs can do about that. That's just kind of law. Anyway, we've got infantry going in here. Sunspear's swords. I'll stop wittering on now and we'll just get on with the battle. Yeah, Sunspear's swords going in. Engaging these spears. Spears, I feel like, a bit weaker in this mod. Maybe it's just because I've seen them go up against shock infantry and things like that. But usually even like swords, I think they get whittled down by quite easily. So I'll have to see how these spears do. But holding the line for now. I only lost like the one chap, and we're seeing a big push out here. Look at this, the massive overlap going on right now by House Martell. They need to strike soon because these Tyrell swords are closing the gap, and there's plenty of cav now shifting over. High Guard and Lancers here, and Knights. And here we go, we're going to see a charge here from the Blazing Sun Lancers into this infantry. This is not going to go well for House Tyrell. That was a nice charge there. Went fully through the unit, did that Martell Lance unit. Really nicely done there. And we have the High Guard and like Lancers going in now. They're going to try and do their bit and try and counter that charge. See whether they can do it. But yeah, I mean, the Cav, I mean, they could throw in the rest if they wanted to. There is another infantry unit here. They could do their own charge on, but they are spears. Probably not going to end well. Look at that Tyro's sword broke 105 men. It's an incredible use of cavalry there. Really broke through those lines. But I mean, they could have even wanted to. Tie down the spears with the High Guard and Lancers, and then just go for this general who's flanking round. But be interested to see. I mean, these Sun Spears sergeants need to just stay out here and just defend the flank from the Cav. If they can form square, great. Just shield wall, that's great. This general, though, cannot be attacked. They're going to actually send some swords in, I think, to try and engage the spear unit. And there you go, foolishly. The Martel, well, I guess he has no choice. The Martel player here does engage, but he also sends his general in. And that's a bad move here. We're going to see the High Guard and Knights now swoop in, along with the High Guard and Lancers. They're all going to swoop in and try and deal with his general. He's trying to get out of there. You can see his bodyguard run for the hills. So they're going to trap some of it. Will they get the general? I don't know. But this Cav, you can see the armor difference. It's just incredibly, it's so much stronger. Sun Lancers over here starting to die. You've got the High Guard and Lancers dueling with them. I mean, I don't know who's firing. I think that's, yeah, it's got to be those archers there firing onto the flank, breaking those Sun Lancers there. And also the general's now just gone into combat. He has he done that? He got out of there alive once. He should stay out of combat. It's not a good thing. You do not want him in there. And there you go. Enemy general has died so early on there. And that's broken a spear sergeant already at 130 men. Just like that. That is a huge loss. I mean, if they're going to do anything, you should have charged the High Guard in general. Though he's very heavy and tier 3. You might have had a chance. You never know. Could have just tried to charge in and just try and break him. But yeah, it did not work. We've got a big cavalry flank now going on in this flank here. This is not good. They are turning around their Water Guard and Guards. And also the Royal Swords here. So they charged... No, just the one unit in this, the Outriders, but in go the Lancers, the Knights, sorry, into the back of this unit here. Running right through the Martel infantry, getting all the way to their own lines and routing that men-at-arms at 85 men. There has been a breakthrough, though, here. Got men-at-arms and Water Guard and Guards breaking through this Swords unit here. We've got some Spears now shifting over to support, but yeah, morale's not looking great. Already a lot of wavering men. You can see when a general dies in this mod, like in Seven Kingdoms, to be honest, morale is... It goes down quickly, but like that. Morale does not exist for long. These polearms here, they are probably getting a bunch of kills against this cavalry. This cavalry needs to get out of combat. Great scenario, though, for the polearms, just fighting here against the tide of green cavalry.
They're not done yet.
But yeah, not looking great here. Balance power, you can see, shifting. It's about... They have double the men to House Tyrell right now. I mean, they may be winning some of these fights with the Royal Swords and the Water Guard and Guards, but the cavalry in the back lines, these Knights here, are just causing havoc. And yeah, I mean, they're breaking more. I mean, this unit here, that's another men-at-arms breaking at 137 men. These Tyrell longbows, it seem like the bows in this game are just a bit more balanced. Like in Seven Kingdoms, 2 units of bows, and you could kill like 2 or 3 units of infantry quite easily. Quite easy. Probably more if you're shooting at things like polearms. Speaking of polearms, these War Guard and Guards over here doing a pretty good job. They're holding the line. They seem to be getting decent kills. I feel like if they didn't have low morale, like currently low, they'd probably be crushing these. I mean, they already are crushing them. Look at this, losing decisively with the Tyrell Spears. It's a shame that the general had to die, and because they were making breakthroughs at Dornish. They got the superior infantry, I think, in their polearms and those elite swords. Just need a little bit more cav, or just not throwing their general. Like, this fight was going on just fine. And we've got the general in here currently engaged. I mean, he needs to be careful. As actually, he's fighting all swords, not the Water Guard and Guards. But still, you've got to be careful. They are near his general, actually. So, yeah, he could do with being careful. He's going to lose his bodyguard. Or his general, more importantly. But they could just surround these units now. They're both losing decisively with these 2 very elite units there. I actually keep hovering over them and don't even realize. Oh, their Water Guard and Guards are only tier 2. I'm surprised. It seemed really good. Maybe it's just because they're the only polearms on the battlefield. But yeah, the polearms, they're doing pretty solid. They're pushing units back. They're winning on this flank here. I think they're helping to win in the center against that cav. The cav's now being forced to retreat. We also got the knights in here, though, with some infantry slashing down on the infantry down here, just, you know, trying to get some kills. But at this point, yeah, it's not looking good for the Dornish and House Martell. It is, yeah. I mean, it was always kind of over once the general died. I mean, we saw chain round pretty much instantly. Water Garden guards down there at 92 men, so they took a little bit longer to kill. The Royal Swords holding on. They're shaken, they're exhausted. 112 men remaining. It's a good number, but when they're shaken and exhausted, they're only a matter of time before they'll break or start to waver at least. But at least they can look cool while they die in their cool, like, bright orange look with the scimitars and the shields going off. It looks great. It really does. This is the last place they look like they're going to hold. I mean, they've broken more of Tyrell's swords, so good on the Royal Swords there. They've done a good job. Taking as many of these damn Tyrell troops down with them as they can. And I think, there you go, they have retreated there. They're going to rout. And I think we're about to see the final few units rout there. And there you go. I think that is the battle. We have, apparently it's a decisive victory. I wouldn't have said it was decisive. I feel like maybe close. I don't think decisive means you haven't really taken any losses. And House Tyrell certainly did just that. But we'll end the replay and a quick look at the end results. So this was sent in by Jack and Hagar, who is the main dev for the not House of Fire, Ice and Fire mod. So thank you very much, Jack, for sending this one in. Very much appreciated. He was playing against Legendarium in this one. A solid player, but just unfortunately, I think brought the wrong army. Certainly the archers would have been a massive help. And maybe a bit more cav, potentially. But he went for a heavy infantry sort of build. Didn't really work for him. And there you go. You learn from it, I guess. Anyway, we'll quickly have a look at some of the kills. I mean, 81 kills to the general here. Not bad. Archers getting 81 kills is not too shabby either. Then 91 kills with the swords. But they were outscored by the spears here, getting 138 and 176. And then we've got cav here. The Outriders and the Lancers doing nothing insane. But the Knights, 230 kills, 129. Some very solid kills there. Then we have Legendarium with his Dornish army getting 59 kills with these men-at-arms. 145 with the Water Garden Guards. Very good, showing their promise for future battles. I'm excited to see how they do. Royal Swords getting 86 kills. Definitely could have got more, I feel like, if hadn't been rear charged and the general hadn't died. And yeah, the Blazing Sun Lancers, 87 kills. Not too bad, but definitely I feel like extra cav would have really helped them. But there you go, guys. That is today's battle. I hope you did enjoy. Dawn was defeated. They will be sent back into the deserts once they came. And the Reach could counterattack if they wanted to. But yes, if you enjoyed, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment to show your support. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.